Alright, alright, alright. It's this old outboard. 71, 20 horse, Johnson. Pain in the ass. Anyway, I'm going to start tearing this thing apart. I've got the other parts, motor parts. 68. I hope it's going to work. It may or may not. Biggest problem on this one, right where I need that damn nut to go to hold that bottom mount for the starter mount. So I can probably get lucky, a couple of washers, nut and bolt. We'll see. We'll tear it apart and see. You gotta tear it apart regardless. Oh, let me mention real quick. This friggin' thing. It was the first time I used it. It was a freebie. And I had mentioned too, I said, man, this thing needs some bolts in it, right before Captain Ron and I started. Speaking of Captain Ron, I called him up. I said, you still feeling it? And he goes, oh yeah, I pulled the muscle in my arm. Anyway, I'm going to chip this off real quick. Just take a look. See what's going on there, how bad it is. Let's just see if I can pick some of this crap off. See, look at that. It was doing nothing. Yeah, see, it's barely stuck on there. Let me get my flashlight. Oh yeah, that whole corner is cracked all the way down. See that? Look at that. I can open it up. Yeah, big hole right there. So it goes all the way around. Sucking air. The poor carburetor couldn't get any vacuum on it to pull the fuel out. And that, you know, it was just dry. It didn't start until I poured that fuel in there. You know, nothing floating in the water. No unburned oil and gas mix, nothing down there. That's why I said starting the dry motor. Plus we'll get a look inside this thing and see what the hell is going on. So I just start at the top, just work my way down and around. But I mean, watch this. You know, you should be able to just turn this with ease. Watch. That's what the... Whatever's going on, that's what it is right there, you know. This thing should just go... Man. So when I first put that other video up that says I can't pull my Johnson, and everybody was cracking Johnson jokes, which I knew they would, that's why I did that. Then when I put the next video up that said Captain Ron pulls my Johnson, I didn't give any jokes. I got one joke, that was it. I was like, man, I couldn't believe it. I thought I'd have, oh, look at there, baby. I thought I'd have another 50 frickin' jokes. Look, that's what they had smeared on there. And this part is good. No crack. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Look at that. It's busted. Holy, see, they plastered it up on the inside and the outside. Look at it, it's about to fall right off, I guess. Alright, I'm noticing there is a slight difference on this one from the 68 model. It doesn't have this little type valvey thingy. On this one, I've got this. These holes. Everything else looks identical. There's a difference. Alright, I don't know what this serves, what purpose this serves. But I do have a match for this. Came off of 25. Aha. See how this one? No holes. It's a match. And plus the other thing is, This one's not broken here where I need that mount for the starter. Also, now you can tell what the real hole up here should look like, not what they did to this hole, and that's probably what happened in part of the accident. This got damaged. They had to put an oversized bolt in it. So I just went over to my little storage trailer, looking to see if I had something like this laying around. I just get this one soaking. All the bolts are out. And then what I did was loosen these side mount nuts. Then in the front, you got that front mount. You go right through the hole in the front. And I loosen that mount. So I can pull this thing back. I've shoved a piece of wood in there to hold it. This right straight up is the last bolt. But anyway, the best access to it is on this side. She should come right out like that. Whew. Let's knock these puppies out. Look at the piston, looks great. Hopefully it's just these damn bearings are just stiff. Hey! Alright, this bearing is not bad. There it is right there. Ooh, this bearing is stiff as a frickin' board. This middle one's not bad. That's it right there, that bottom bearing. I can't even move it. I mean, this thing here is rubbing directly on this metal. You know, this is spinning, this isn't. There's nothing between these. This bearing up front is not even close to the metal. Plenty of room there, plenty of room there. Why is this like this? See what I'm saying? Because I'll tell you why, I think, because I don't think this bearing is in the right place. It's moved again. It should be out that way a little bit. I think, yeah, I should be seeing the little hole. There's the little hole right there. There, now it's down in there. But it can't move that way now. How much, you know, there's still no space. It's still metal on metal. Right there. See, it's much freer. It's starting to feel more like normal because this metal is not rubbing on that metal. This isn't right. Something's not right here. That's the problem. I need to go look at the schematic. That's it for me. So I just went and checked the schematic. All right, so you got your O-ring, large O-ring, and then it says small O-ring. Where in the hell is it? There was no small O-ring on here. All right, so here's one I took out the other day, and I took this off, and I said, let me just put the whole thing back together again and go from there with it, you know, just throw it in the pile. Let's yank this one off. There it is. That's an O-ring. Then the big O-ring goes on here. Huh. This is going to make things even more tight. So let's try that. Man, I never get that spring on. Now these two springs look identical. This one was a little flatter. Boy, this one is rough, man. It's a little taller. Let's try the smaller spring. So retainer. Man, that's never gonna go on there. Are you kidding me? It's on. Now, let's spin it. That feels pretty good. All right, so gotten this far. Feels much better. Look at this. Everything fits. Looks nice. Still got to get the bolts in it. Still got to get some sealer. Put this puppy on. All right, let's see what this feels like, sounds like, looks like, smells like. Pretty smooth. Let's put the plugs in. All right, plugs are in. Hold on to your drawers. Whoa. I can't hold all this and do this. It's too much torque on this thing. Let's do this. All right, so now I've got a good intake side here. The hole is not all stripped out. Had to find a proper bolt. This is a different piece where that hole isn't all stripped out. We put the plugs in, just make sure I'm tight here. I just pulled it with the plugs out. This pull starter, don't tell me about the arrow and all that crap. I think it just does this when there's no plugs in it. I said it before, I think the spring had been broken and they fixed it, used the broken spring, just twisted the end, stuck it back in there. I've done the same thing, but listen to this, it's horrible. That's the spring. Horrible. Alright, let's try, put the plugs in. Frigger, schmigger. But we know it already pulls good without the plugs. This is the test. Yeah, let's just try it like that. They're hand tight. Oh, man. It's not gonna pull. It's not gonna pull. It has to be compression. Just high compression. It's no different. I don't want to beat myself up out here again, but here we go. Try a good one. It's no different. It has to be good high compression. Let's do a compression test again. It's probably going to read the same. I mean, I could turn it by hand. I couldn't turn it, the crankshaft by hand. I couldn't do that when I first took that thing off. So you see how this flywheel now just goes. You couldn't do that before. I had Corey come over here. And I said, turn that. And he's like, I said, that thing should be floating. But you still can't crank it. Aha! Whoa, man. I'm trying to hold on to these things. What was that, 3 turns? I'm at 120. Which is better than, did it come down or I just didn't spin it long enough? Oh, man, what is going on? Whoa, that about threw me off here. All right, so it's back up 140. I'm not even going to bother with the bottom. This is ridiculous. It's just got great compression. It's all I can think of. Holy mackerel, man, that shook me all over the place. Man, that almost, I mean, my vision was like this. I'm afraid to do that. Was this thing moving like it had to have been? This stand is not going to stay as this stand. The plan is I'm going to build a long stand on it, full length, and I could put 2 outboards on it, waiting in the wings kind of thing. If you go back and watch that video, or you haven't seen it yet, first fire video where I cranked this thing up, once that was all juiced up in there, I pulled that starter. That thing started right there, man, on that first pop, and I went all the way back with that rope because the motor was doing the work. It's got to get juiced up, and it'll do the work. All right, later, alligator.
Don't forget to subscribe.